G'day guys and gal. If you know about Warhammer 40k, then you know about the Ultramarines. They are literally the poster boys for the entire setting and are by far the most popular faction in the game, with their dad literally running the largest faction in the entire setting. On top of that, pretty much all box art with Space Marines is defaulted to Ultramarines, and they seem to be the protagonists of pretty much all Warhammer video games and media. But why? Blue and gold with a touch of Space Roman isn't exactly a universally default theme. Well, there are actually some pretty cool reasons for it, both in lore and as an overall technical meta reason for GW picking them as the poster boys out of the other 18 legions. Before we get started, this is my last day before I go to Europe for a month. At the time of this video going live, I'm currently on a plane heading to Portugal, so that's fun. Don't worry, I have no intention of murdering my own channel by going cold turkey for a month, hence I spent August busting my balls to pre-make 4 long-form videos as well as over 10 short-form to go live during September. Some of these videos will feature me with my older brunette hair, as that is how far back some of them were filmed, so don't freak out or get confused by a video's release date if you see that. So yeah, if you're in Europe, there's above a 0% chance that you will bump into me. I also wanted to announce that there's only 24 hours until the Big E model is gone. Easily the coolest model that I've brought to the Major Mini lineup. This has been such an amazing launch. Thank you guys for the support on this. 24 hours left. If you're on the fence, then it's now or never. I legitimately don't think you could regret having one of these bad boys on your shelf. Even just spray painted gold, it's dope. Today we'll go over why the Ultramarines are so popular, looking at both the Inlaw Reasons as well as why GW decided to make them the poster boys to begin with. Let's get into it. Let's start with the Inlaw Reasons for their ultra wank at the hands of GW. At first glance, it doesn't really make much sense. The Ultramarines were one of 18 legions, each legion with the potential to be just as good as one another. The Ultramarines weren't even the most powerful either. That title would have gone to the Dark Angels or the Lunar Wolves, so it does seem strange that they seem to be elevated above the rest. So you would say that the Inlaw Reason that although Ultramarines have their own unique style, they are very much a generalist legion. Even their real-life counterpart, the Roman Empire, was the most well-known and referenced ancient empire in history. You can use Ultramarines for any kind of situation as they are so well-rounded and are known for their incredible versatility. Combine this with the fact that they are the largest legion, and suddenly they became very well-known and popular as they were seen on many battlefields. On top of that, they are fantastic for Imperial propaganda as they are known for their diplomatic and heroic ways. The cobalt blue and gold trim seemingly to be very much a good guy heroic color. No other legion is as marketable. Even the Imperial Fists, who are the paragons of loyalty, are known to be stiff and heavily autistic when dealing with Imperial citizens, whilst Ultramarines have that care factor and social intelligence. On top of that, the recent return of Roboute Guilliman elevated the Ultramarines even further, as up until the Lion's recent return, he was the only loyalist Primarch in the setting. This didn't make them the poster boys, but more so solidified it in the lore. That does beg the question, was Roboute brought back because the Ultramarines are the poster boys? Well, kind of. Roboute was the best Primarch to bring back due to how well-rounded he was and how suited for the task he would be. In terms of resurrection, he also made the most amount of sense. The reason why Roboute was the best choice to bring back is also why the Ultramarines are the poster boys to begin with. But the Inlaw Reasons only make up a small fraction of the overall reason why the Ultramarines are the stars of the new edition trailers, the Space Marine games, and all the box art. After all, the lore actually treats the other legions quite well, with the Iron Hands getting plenty of screen time in the Horus Heresy despite them eating copious amounts of shit, as well as the Lion's return coming with a full Dark Angel novel, as well as the Dark Angels being the stars of the Arcs of Omen event. No, we gotta get meta to answer this properly. The Ultramarines weren't actually the poster boys from day one. GW wasn't sure who they wanted to be their frontman at the start, but lucky for them they only really had a couple options: the Ultramarines, Crimson Fists, Black Templars, Blood Angels, and Imperial Fists. There were many other chapters, but these were the main ones. At this point, the lore was really bare bones, so the idea of legions and then the successor chapters wasn't yet really a thing. Surprisingly, the Crimson Fists were actually the original box art poster boys for a time. How the mighty have fallen. As the lore got fleshed out and the Crimson Fists became a successor chapter, it didn't make sense for them to be the big boys anymore. GW also experimented with having the Blood Angels as the poster boys, as well as the Black Templars. So for Rogue Trader, it was Crimson Fists, 2nd edition was the Blood Angels, and the Space Hulk board game also featured the Blood Angels as the protagonists. 3rd edition was the Black Templars, so there was some diversity at play. However, 4th edition, the Reign of the Blue begun, as the Ultramarines were the most Space Marine of all Space Marines, the closest followers of the Codex Astartes, hence worthy of being the poster boys. On top of that, GW had started off with a blue poster boy faction, faction via the Crimson Fists, so it made sense for the future Poster Boys to be blue. A lot of people think that Matt Ward, the man that made the Ultramarines hated for over a decade due to his shocking bias towards them at the expense of making all other chapters look like Ultra Simps, was the one that made the Ultramarines the Poster Boys. However, Matt got involved with 5th edition, with 4th edition being when the Ultramarines took the front stage. So Matt didn't make the Ultramarines the Poster Boys, he just made them into a meme. The reasons go beyond this, however. Tying into the Inlaw reason, the Ultramarines were the generalists and were overall the most easy Space Marine faction to play and understand for new people. Thus, if a newbie got a box of Marines and just followed the box art theme, then he would end up with the best gameplay experience as a new person who doesn't want the complications of the other chapters. However, all of this is worth next to nothing compared to the most important reason why the Ultramarines are the Poster Boys. Blue is an extremely easy color to paint with and photograph, with the Ultramarines color scheme being extremely easy to make look good, even if you're a new or shit painter. Blue paint has a dense, easy to use pigment. You only need a handful of nice thin layers to get a stunning consistent blue. The gold trim and detailing also looks great by itself. This color then contrasts fantastically with red eye lenses. The color combo looks so good that you don't even need to actually highlight the model, something that takes ages and a fair amount of brush control for the model to look tabletop ready. You can legitimately prime the model blue, do some basic shading, paint the trims in an Aquila gold, paint the gun black, give him red eye lenses, and then slap on an Ultima symbol, transfer, and bang, you would have a clean, tabletop ready model in less than an hour. If you then chose to highlight the model, it would look amazing. If we instead look at the Dark Angels, where you need to highlight the shit out of it to create that green effect, the process to making a tabletop ready Dark Angel is fucking hard. I've spent hours working on these 3 guys, and I know I'll need to spend hours more cleaning up my shitty highlighting. Yellow is a really bad color to work with as its pigment coverage is shit, hence you need to spend ages creating many layers. I see new people pick up the Lamenters or Imperial Fists and then complain that the model looks fucked because they put 3 layers on and it still looks patchy. Don't even get me started on the white scars. Painting white, especially if you're new, is a huge pain in the ass unless you know the special techniques. So the main reason why they're the Poster Boys is legitimately because of how easy an Ultramarine is to paint. If a new person starts an army and hates their scheme because they don't understand how pigment works, they would probably say fuck this, but with the Ultramarine colors, even a mid paint job looks decent. Now for the point about photography. Blue is a very distinct and easy to see color. It's also very eye-catching and contrasts well with most other colors. So when GW want to create battle scenes for a new launch or dope-ass box art, the blue of the Ultramarine armor will look fantastic on pretty much any background. For their product images, the blue also contrasts really well with the white. And the final point regarding painting, Ultramarines are allowed to play with other colors as well. Their Tech Marines are red and their Apothecaries are white, not to mention some Ultramarines have red or white helmets. So if an Ultramarine player wanted to mix it up a bit, they can. Now a lot of what I have said also applies to the Blood Angels. Red is a good pigment to work with and they too have some color diversity. However, the Blood Angels are a legion that specializes in assault, with their Secret Spice Vampire Roid Rage lore, as well as their Death Company warriors throwing a spanner in the mix for ideal Poster Boys. Credit where credit is due though. Many new Space Marine releases will show off various other chapter colors on a dedicated section of the box, so while the Ultramarine Poster Boys are here to stay, GW have made it clear that they aren't automatically superior to the other chapters. Fortunately, GW also did a great job fixing Matt Ward's mistakes and making the Ultramarines an extremely awesome and enjoyable chapter to read about in the lore. Despite their genericness, they own the fact that they are the most Space Marine of all Space Marines, and use it to ironically make them feel unique and distinct. Guilliman is also a joy to read about in the current lore, as well as the Horus Heresy. So that covers all the known reasons as to why the Ultramarines are so popular and are the Poster Boys of the setting. If you have any other reasons, then slap them down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then pick up the Big E model. Only 24 hours left, this is legitimately your last chance. Hopefully I survive my Europe trip, but as I said, there will be weekly uploads to keep your thirst for the lore satiated. Peace.